Good afternoon, everybody. So today we are going to start with a lesson on Microsoft Word, and we're going to focus on formatting. So we are going to start off. I just want to see with a show of hands, how many people have used Microsoft Word in any shape or form? Perfect. I'm going to hand out your notes sheets that everyone should be filling out. So you should have every slide. And while you're following along, I want you guys to fill in the blanks, write any questions you might have for the end, or write any notes you might want as you follow along for future reference. All right, now that you guys all have those notes, you guys should be following along, filling in the blanks. But as an overview for today's class, I'm going to start with an introduction on formatting. I want to know what you guys know already. So I'll ask you guys a few questions, and then we'll go through some of the vocabulary you'll see while I demonstrate how to use these tools in Word. So we'll go through all the vocab so you understand exactly what I mean when I say it as we go through it. I will format the demonstration. I will do a formatting demonstration, so you guys will just watch me and follow along in your notes as I demonstrate how to use format paragraphs and format text. Then we'll do a little bit of comprehension activity where I will show you objectives on the board, and you guys are going to use the tools that I teach you today in a little worksheet that will be kind of fun for you guys to do. And I will get to know each and every one of you because it will be about you. So, and the last thing we'll do is a little bit of vocab and location quiz. So I know you guys know where to find all these tools in Word when you use it on your own. Formatting, you guys are going to be using it throughout your whole education, throughout all your careers. No matter what you do, you're going to use Word. If it's to a letter to your grandma, or writing a resume, writing a cover letter, it could be writing a memo, or just writing a simple essay in your next class. All these tools will help you organize your thoughts and format your ideas into the correct. We'll learn about different types of formats so that you can use them in any essay that you might write. So yeah, you're going to be using these tools in every class, every career that you might have. So this is really good to learn. What is Word? I just want to tell you guys, if you didn't know what Word is, Microsoft Word is designed to help you create professional and quality documents with the finest document formatting tools. Word helps you organize and write your documents more efficiently. So Microsoft Word created a app, you could say, an application that just allows you to type and organize your documents, with whether that is a cover letter, a memo, essay. So how might Word help in businesses? If that's what you're doing, how might that help? Just give me some ideas. Yeah, Word might help if you're writing an email. You might have to format an email to a coworker. You might need to be organized so that the other person can understand what you're saying and really get the point across, so it's easy if they need to skim through something. So what does formatting mean? How might you use it in business? So like, what does it actually mean to you? What does formatting mean? So yeah, maybe formatting is just to organize your thoughts, different formats, when you're, there's different formats in many things. So like in Excel, when we learned about Excel, there's different formats that you could use, different ways to portray your thoughts. So formatting is different if you format text, it can draw the reader's attention to specific parts of the document, emphasize important information, so that if someone is skimming through it or they need to look through your resume really quick, your format is really clear and easy to understand and organized. So in Word, you have several different options for formatting text. So we'll learn about how to change font, how to change size, how to change the color, how to change the alignment, the margins, your line spacing, indentations, lists, and a few other things that might just come across as I discuss with you guys and demonstrate for you guys. So why might you format text? Does it really matter what font size you use or exactly how you cite your source in paper? Well, it really can. Style formats were developed as a way to standardize how pieces of writing and their works cited lists should look. So when you format text for like an essay, for any other class, or when you go to college, or just any different ideas, most of the time it's MLA format. When I wrote essays in college, most of the time it was MLA format. That's the most popular format for any paper that you write in English. So any English paper, you'll probably use MLA format. APA format is more for research papers. And then there's Chicago style, which is like for history papers. So you might come across these later on. I'm not going to go too deep into each format, but just have an idea of different kinds of formats and different kinds of organization skills that you might need to carry on after this lecture. So we're going to talk about formatting text first. I just want to go through all the vocabulary so you guys know exactly what I mean when I'm demonstrating it to you guys. So the font is a print style. So you guys see how my font is a little bit cooler than just a regular old Times New Roman, which is another kind of font that most people will use while they're writing their essay. Bold, which is a feature that prints designated text darker than the rest of the copy to emphasize. So all these are actually already in those specific formats. So that is bolded text that you see there. And then italics, this is italics, what italics text looks like. It changes the font effect to make the letters more slanted. And the size, obviously these characters are a little bit bigger. Font size or text size, how large the characters are displayed on the screen or printed on a page. And then different colors, obviously, to change the color of text displayed on the screen. And then underline to mark something such as a word with a line underneath. And when and why we might use these functions. So fonts add value. Times New Roman is the font, like I said, used in MLA format, and most of the time in every text they use because it's the most clearly to read. Bold font is the strong emphasis for vocabulary words. You might bold your words in your text, and it captures the reader's attention. Italics is to emphasize something. For titles or standalone works, such as books and movies, in your essay, you'll italicize these words. For vehicle names, to show if it's borrowed from another language. So if it's in Spanish, you'll italicize that word. And then scientific names like plants and animal species, you'll italicize those words. Size, to compose an email or text, you might use different fonts, or different sizes, but 12-point font is the most readable font, and usually it's anywhere from 10 to 12 points font you'll use in papers. And then colors, sometimes you may be making an advertisement in Word, and you need to add color emphasis if you're being creative. And then underline when you need to emphasize a word or a heading or a title, you'll underline it. So paragraphs, for formatting paragraphs, here's some new vocab is alignment. Formatting of a paragraph to align with like left margin, right margin, or center. So then margins are the edge of the border, so it's how you shift your whole paper. And then line spacing is line spacing in between each paragraph line. So it's how much gap is between each line that you type. An indent is a feature that sets a tab that indents the paragraph. So when you indent your first paragraph, this first line is indented. So you just tab over, and then list. A series of items preceded by a bullet or a number, or it could be a letter as well. it's one way we do use these functions. So depending on format type, you may need to change alignment using center or align if you need to align your name, date, or page number on the top. Margins are usually 1-inch margins for MLA, but it makes it look neat and professional. And it makes it so there's not so much blank space on a page. Line spacing, greater line spacing makes the document easier to read. Maybe someone needs to correct your work, so you have a little bit of space for them to correct that work. And then indent for the start of the paragraph or to show that what type of information it is, like works cited. You might have to have a hanging indent. So we'll learn what that is. And then list, to clearly organize steps or ideas, and depending on list types of changing it from numbers, bullets, or letters. So now we're going to go through a demonstration. So keep your notes out. You might have questions that you want to write down, and have your computers open to a blank document just so you can follow along and find those things that I point out on your own while I'm going through it. So just follow along as I format these tasks. You open up my Word document here. When you're in Word, this is the first thing. So we're just going to start with a blank document. So we will first start off. I'm just going to list some of my favorite things in one word. Basketball is my favorite thing. Golf. I like to go to Hawaii. I like the sun, and I like things that I like. So these texts is a little bit small, so I'm going to highlight all of this, and you can go up to the number here and click this down arrow, and it allows you to change the font size. So we're going to go with 12-point font because that's the normal. And then this here is your text font, so your style. So it starts you off in Calibri, but I'm going to do Times New Roman because that is the most used font. Now you can change the font by clicking up or down, and that changes your font size. Greater font or smaller font. That is just something to use if you need to do it quickly, or you can highlight the whole thing. Now, if I want to make this into a list, I would highlight this all, and this button here where it has bullets, it's actually called the bullet list if you hover over it. And you can choose what you want, check marks, arrows. We're going to use a numbered list today. So this, you'd actually go to the right and it's a numbered list. This is a lettered list or multi-level list. So this is how you do the number or letter. And we're going to do a number today. So the next thing we're going to learn is how to change the margins. So here at the top is how do you change the margins? So you see how this changes how the whole number, it changes the whole block. So we highlight this whole thing and we want to change it to 1-inch margins. Then we'd go right there. If we wanted to change the space between the number and the word, we would actually use this right here. So there's two different levels to change. If you want to change it all, then you change it just like this. So that's how you change the margins. The last couple things I want to go through are the text styles, but also how to center align stuff. So right now we're in left align. So if we highlight it all and we want to center align it, these boxes do those three things: center align and right align, but it kind of gets all funky and unorganized. So we're going to keep it at left align. If we want to change the line spacing, there is this line and paragraph spacing here. So sometimes you want to remove the space from the paragraph or remove after the paragraph. So that would be after you click enter, there'd be a paragraph. So you could change that if you wanted, or remove it so it makes it tighter or smaller or bigger. So usually when you write in MLA format, take this off, you would use double spacing. So you do 2.0. so it's a little easier to read. Basketball, we're gonna bold that because it's just my favorite sport and I like it a lot. So we're gonna bold it. So that is this button here. Golf, we're gonna go through and italicize that number. So that makes it a little slanted, just like that. And Hawaii, let's underline that word. And then the sun, I'm gonna teach you guys how to color it. So this is underline, italicize, bold. To color it is this button here. So this is the highlight, actually the highlight color. So we need to highlight a word, but we're actually going to just change the color of the word. So that's the color. So we're going to change that to yellow, like this one. And the last thing we're going to show you is we'll highlight this word. So you just get a little bit of highlight. Those are different features or formats you can use in that area. I think we went through everything I wanted to go through. Just make sure. And last couple things we're gonna do, I'm just gonna pretend I'm writing. I gotta take off this stuff, no color, and go back to automatic. If you go back to automatic, it's black. Oh. It was still on highlight. Stop highlighting. There we go. Wants to keep highlighting. We all make mistakes. You would have to highlight your text that you already highlighted. All right, so let's pretend I write big long paragraph here. Big long paragraph, big long paragraph. It's double spaced. I want to, when you press tab, that's an indent. Now, if we want to change the paragraph indent, you would right click and you'd press paragraph. So this gives you a bunch of different settings for indenting and spacing. So you can change the left center align just like I taught you up there here as well, and change the number. If you want a special, so we did first line indent, sometimes you have to do a hanging indent for your works cited. So you just do that and press OK, and it changes your whole format for your paragraph. So if you right click, it gives you all that different stuff for spacing, 5-point after, double space, 1-point line, single. There's different things you can do in here to change the paragraphs. So now after that demonstration, I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint. And you guys are actually going to use these tools that we just learned and cover all these objectives on your Word document. So I want you to open up Word to a new document. First, I want you to create a numbered list of your 5 favorite things, but included in a sentence. So like I use basketball, you'd say, I like basketball, maybe in a sentence. For objective 2, you're going to choose one word in that sentence to emphasize in each of those 5 sentences. So you might italicize that word, you might bold it, and then I want you guys to change your favorite thing. I want you to change that word into a different color. And then your objective 3 is to change the margins to 1.5 inches. So you can do that through the paragraph function with right clicking, or you can do it with the tile that you move left and right. Objective 4, I want you to center align your list. So it should be in the center of your document. So that's the only thing. It's going to be clear to read. And then objective 5, I want you to write 3 sentences on the bottom stating why these are your favorite things. And I want you to double space that paragraph. And then I want you to use the hang indent function. Raise your hand for help. I'm going to give you guys about 10 minutes to do this, and then we're going to move on. I'll be walking around and helping as needed. Now that we're done with our demonstration activity, and I want you guys to turn all those papers into Canvas so that I can learn about your 5 favorite things and see if you guys fully understood how to use all those tools. So now you officially know how to navigate Word to format paragraphs, officially navigate Word to change fonts, and to efficiently navigate Word to make lists. So the last 15 minutes, I'm gonna pass out the vocab and location quiz, and you guys will turn that in on your way out. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.